me re-signing with the Phillies. When he went back to Cleveland, I kind of gained respect for him since that's where pretty much one of the best part of his career when he was young and in his prime happened. But now that he re-signed with the Phillies, I don't know how good of a respect I have for him. Robert, do you have that?
Well, yeah, I do have Jim Thome down as one of the biggest moves so far. Excuse me. But I really think he really slapped Cleveland's face because he said how great it was to come back there and how great it was to get this opportunity. And then he just leaves like he did before. So I pretty much think he slapped Cleveland in the face. But I do give Philadelphia props for going out to get him. If you don't remember, Ryan Howard went down. So they're going to need a first baseman to come in. And since Jim Thome has some experience there, it was good that they went out to get him and that he was out on the free agents market. So that was a smart move by Philly. But I still think that he slapped Cleveland's face there.
Yeah, I agree with you, slapping Cleveland's face. But next one for me is the Indians re-signing Grady Sizemore. A lot of people are not happy with this re-signing. I personally think the Indians didn't particularly lose here. The only thing they really lost was $5 million. But this is a, how do I say it, go big or go home situation. It's a win-win situation. If he does good, then you lucked out. But if he doesn't, whatever, it's $5 million. So, Robert, do you have this one?
The only other thing about that is it's either $5 million to start off or $4 million to start off, plus whatever it is to equal $9 million in incentives. I mean, if this works out for Grady, he'll end up making $9 million at the end of the year. Hopefully, if that happens, he'll have a great year and he'll actually earn that $9 million. Of course, if he gets injured, he'll just end up with the $5 or the $4 million that is already set in stone. But overall, I think it could go either way. I mean, after the previous seasons by Sizemore, he hasn't cooperated. How do I say this? Health-wise, he's just been getting injured, and it really hasn't worked out for him. But if he can go a season where he can hit like 25 home runs, and he can maybe only go on the 15-day once or something like that. But he just has to refrain from getting injured and having a big injury. And hopefully it can come and it will be a big part of the Indians' outfield and lineup this season.
Okay, for the next one I have is Jonathan Papelbon signing with the Phillies. I think it was 4 years, not sure how much money, but the Phillies have had some trouble in the bullpen in the past few years, closer-wise. I think this is kind of a big deal, but, you know, the Phillies have other problems they need to fill right now. So, Robert, what are your thoughts on the Phillies?
Well, Jonathan Papelbon going to the Phillies, I mean, I'd have to imagine that he will be taking the closer's role. But I think people are making a big deal about this. I mean, you got to give him credit. He is a good pitcher. But just to throw at least one inning every day, I don't know. But yeah, whatever. It's just another bullpen guy for the Phillies, and that's pretty much it. That's all you can say.
Okay, for the next one, I have the Toronto Blue Jays switching up their jerseys, sort of going old school. I mean, I kind of like them. I think they did this to make it more Canada-wise, look more Canadian. So, I kind of like them. I mean, I'm not extremely excited about them. But, Robert, what are your thoughts on the Blue Jays' new jerseys?
Like you, I'm not really too excited about them. I mean, I know they wanted to make them look Canadian, but I really like the old jerseys. The older ones that they had last year and the years before that, I thought were really cool. They were modern, definitely modern, and I just thought they were pretty sweet. But I can understand them wanting to go back. I don't know if it's about superstitions or any of that, or just being a little more Canadian, but whatever. I'm not a big fan of jerseys, but whatever. It's just something that they wear. It doesn't get you any wins, and yeah. So that's all I have to say.
Next for me is Heath Bell signing with the Marlins for 3 years. The Marlins are starting sort of a rebuilding sort of thing by going out and signing a bunch of veteran players. I guess you could call that rebuilding. I'm not sure, but they got 2 big signings so far, and ever since they got off that lease of that stadium, they've been getting a lot of money back. So, Robert, what are your thoughts on the Marlins signing Heath Bell?
Well, it's an indication that Miami is looking to go out and get people and to get another championship. They already got Jose Reyes, Heath Bell, and maybe even Albert Pujols. That's not set yet. But if they can pull all 3 of those guys off, I mean, that would be huge. And Heath Bell, I understand, is a good closer. For 3 years, it'll work. But this move really shows that they're going out to get veterans, to get new players, decent players, and it shows that they're gonna make a run for this.
Alright, for the next one, I'm back with the Miami Marlins. The new stadium, the new jerseys, and the new name, the Miami Marlins. Just goes to show how the Marlins are just trying to turn this team back around from where they were. Help this organization be successful again. So, Robert, what are your thoughts on the Miami Marlins changing so much about the old Florida Marlins?
Well, I can understand why they changed the name. I mean, for the Florida Marlins, they were the first baseball team in Florida. So that's why they had that name. But when Tampa Bay came along and they named it after the city, it was a good idea to change it, especially when entering the new stadium and everything. And I don't really have a problem with the new stadium. It's just that all the new ones these days seem to give me sort of a headache, just because of the designs. But yeah, and their jerseys. I don't know if you want to add in on this, Corey, but I'm not the biggest fan of these jerseys, especially the colors. I mean, the black ones look fine, I think, but the other ones just look terrible. But overall, I think it's whatever. I mean, as long as they can win some games.
Going back on the jerseys, like Robert said, I'm not a big fan of them. I don't think the colors match well that great, and the logo is just not very amusing. We'll put it at that. But moving on, other news: the Astros are going to join the AL West within the next 2 years. The MLB announced. This is just looking even worse for the Astros. They can't even compete in the NL. Hitting-wise, and now they're going to go to a division that has some of the best DHs. I don't know about DHs, but some of the best hitting in the AL, as in the AL West. Robert, what are your thoughts on the Astros going to the AL West within the next 2 years?
They're screwed. Just so. But I can see why they did it. They're evening out leads. The only thing about this is that means there will be at least one interleague series in every series that goes on. There will be one interleague series. I don't know what that will have to do with anything. I mean, it will give teams better understanding of National League teams. Like a practice for the World Series. That's how I would think. Now, I don't know if they have that whole interleague week thing, but I don't know. But personally, I think the Astros are screwed. But it's kind of nice to have all leagues now. So that's all I have to say.
All right, on to the next topic. We have 3 more to go. The new wild card announcement. They haven't made it official yet, but in the next few years, maybe even starting into this season, there will be another wild card added to each league. Me personally, I think this is great, especially for the MLB. They'll make more money since there will be more games, and it's going to help out a bunch of teams. For example, the Indians. They will be able to even compete for the wild card this year. I think this is a great idea if it goes down this year. So, Robert, what are your thoughts on this new wild card announcement?
It'll give smaller market teams that chance to make it to the playoffs and play a different team to secure their place in the American League or National League Series. So it just gives teams a better chance, and I like the Indians, the Athletics, if they can pull off something. Just naming off some teams, the Rays, they'll give them a chance. But yeah, I think it gives other teams who don't usually make it in the playoffs a better chance, and that's why I like them.
All right, on to the second and last one, Bobby Valentine becoming the Red Sox manager. Me personally, I don't have anything against Bobby Valentine, but I think the Red Sox could have found a better manager, better fit for the Red Sox. You know, when you think about the Red Sox, you think of a classy team since Fenway Park, and that's what I liked about Terry Francona. He was a classy, humble guy, and it's almost kind of the opposite of Bobby Valentine. Like I said, nothing against him. I think he's a great act for baseball. I'm glad that he's back, but I think the Red Sox could have found a better manager, better fit for the Red Sox. Robert, what are your thoughts?
Well, I understand that he did go. I'm pretty sure he went to 1 or 2 World Series with the Mets back when he was coaching them, but he never won the World Series. But then he went over to Japan and played in like 1 or 2 or 3 championships over there, and he won a few of them. So it's kind of hard to say what will happen. I really think that like a different team should have got him. How about this? The Red Sox should have gotten a better experienced manager in the MLB. Just because Bobby Valentine has been over in Japan for a few years, I mean, I'm pretty sure they run things differently over there. So I think they should have gotten somebody else who has been here the past few years. But I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens with him.
Alright, now on to our final topic of the day. Jose Reyes signing with the Marlins for 6 years and $106 million. This is a great signing for the Marlins in their rebuilding sort of thing. You know, he's a great player. Last year he had a great season, although he was hurt. That's going to be the only thing that might hold the Marlins back if he gets hurt, but I don't think he will. I think they can contend for the wild card. Robert, what are your thoughts on the Marlins signing Jose?
I think it was a great deal. Like you said, he is a great player. He will definitely help them get into the playoff push. Especially if that new wild card goes into effect this year, they will definitely